Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially healthcare. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.
In the squadron, they called him Bullets, but we call him Greg Kelly. Greg Kelly is on the air
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Last night I made a video, which was spot on, by the way, just pointing out a lot of truth about the Epstein case that people will not acknowledge or will not bother to find out for themselves, especially media people. That I guess is very uncomfortable because it conflicts with what they want to believe about that whole situation. That it's who's telling you that this is the worst thing that ever happened and it's a massive pedophilia ring? Who's saying that, right? Who's saying that the most and the loudest? Well, the media, right? Mainstream dominant media. Some podcasters too. It's interesting, the guys who are really beating the drum the most, my friend Kash Patel and Dan Bongino to some extent, I love those guys. When they got to the FBI, they're like, okay, we really don't have as much as we thought there was. Our theory about him being this international guy working for intelligence and all that stuff, no, he was just a kind of a run-of-the-mill creep. And he was getting, forgive me, hand jobs from young girls in Palm Beach. Some of these girls alleged to him that they were 18. Look, it's gross. It's weird. He was convicted of sex offenses. He became a registered sex offender, which is a major thing. He went to jail, which is a major thing. People say, oh, it was a sweetheart deal. Actually, that's not true. I studied about 50 of these cases in New Jersey especially, which seems to be rampant with teachers hooking up with students. In New Jersey is like ground zero for that stuff. And I looked at the allegations, right? And we looked at the news reports, and the news reports are always over the top. Teacher raped 13-year-old for months and blah, 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 or, years even. It's just like, it's shocking and it's weird and it seems to be rampant. It seems to be an epidemic, right? But I would cover these things. I would show, okay, this is the allegation and this is how it's adjudicated. And every time it was crazy how light the sentence was. 2 months house arrest, 1 year probation. I think 2 years in prison was the longest, but it was almost exclusively home confinement. A lot of them did not have to register as a sex offender. Now, people like to say that Alex Acosta, the U.S. attorney, somehow negotiated a sweetheart deal for Jeffrey Epstein and did it because he got the word that Epstein was working for intelligence, our intelligence. So go easy on this guy. We got to go easy on him because he's one of ours. Well, they didn't go easy on him. And also, he never said that. Try to find where Alex Acosta said, I'm told that we have to go easy on this guy because he's intelligence. I could show you 50 million podcasters who have alleged that, but there's no evidence of that. There does come, you can't just say stuff. I mean, you can say stuff if you want. It's a free country. But now that, people are demanding justice and demanding that people get arrested, and people are now going down for things that have nothing to do with child sex. Larry Summers wanted dating advice from Jeffrey Epstein. Of all the people in the world, he went to Jeffrey Epstein. Rich people, they live differently. They do. They live differently, and they have more time. And they can engage in email. When the hell is the last time you sent an email to somebody? I don't do email. I text. You know? Email. Hello, John. How was your summer? I mean, what the hell do you say? In an email, and work email's one thing. Nobody emails. But these people email, and they're emailing each other about stuff that's not criminal. Now, it may be gross and it may be interesting that Bill Gates got a sex disease, what do you call it, an STD, a sexually transmitted disease, from a Russian hooker. That may be interesting. That may be, wow. And maybe it's against the law in Russia. I don't know. But that's not what we were told. That's not what this thing is supposed to be about. I had a couple of aha moments in this because I sat down. I'm tired of the media trying to tell me what's important, what's not. Actually, I learned that lesson a long time ago. Right? The same impulse that told me that January 6th was a fraud and that Ashley Babbitt was a victim and not an insurrectionist has taken me to this place that there is hysteria about this pedophilia ring that doesn't exist. It would be easy. I mean, oh yeah, demand justice for kids. I want justice for kids. But it's not. It's been exaggerated because it can be weaponized, if you will, politically against Trump for the midterms. And when he says it out loud, he's right. This whole gosh damn thing is a hoax. And he's also right that good people are now being hurt. There are some good people out there who are now being hurt, or at least people who did not do what they're said to have done. Now, Prince Andrew, or what's his name? Andrew Mountbatten von Windsor, because he can no longer be a prince. It's wild. He can't be a prince, but they gave him a castle. It's Sandringham Castle. He lives there. He was accused of doing all kinds of things with Virginia Giuffre, who's like kind of the epicenter of all this stuff, who's dead now, by the way. Virginia Giuffre has made up all kinds of outlandish things. She is not to be believed. The prosecutors in the U.S. Attorney's Office interviewed her, and they said, this person's in outer space. She is totally not credible. We can't have her as a witness. It's ridiculous. Even if her allegations are true against Andrew, guess what? She was of the age of consent, 17. Just like that lady, Shantae Davies. We got the Inside Edition. We did that, right? From the Inside Edition clips. It's pretty amazing. Shantae Davies is another survivor, like Lisa Phillips, another survivor of Jeffrey Epstein. But what did they survive? They don't. They literally don't say. But if you listen carefully, you hear that, wait a second, they were adults when this all went down. Adults! I'm like, where are the kids? Anyway, Alex Acosta was brought in from the federal level to the local level because there was a fear that the locals were not going to pursue the case. So the feds made sure they secured the case, that they did the case, because the evidence wasn't as compelling as a lot of people have been told. Some of the victims, and there were victims in all of this, and it's been adjudicated, right? Some of them lied about their age. They said they were 18. He specifically, this is all in the court record. The last thing any fake news reporter wants to do is sit down with a stack of 4,000 pages of testimony and from a trial and read through it. It can be boring. It can drive you insane. There's all kinds of crap in there that's irrelevant. There's this procedural stuff that you got to labor through. It's more easy to just come to a conclusion and whip it out, right? Yeah, you're on safe ground because that's where the mob is, right? You'll be fine. But the moment you say, wait a second, this doesn't make sense. Let me hear Shantae Davis. This is the victim of Jeffrey Epstein, the alleged victim of Shantae Davis. And this is, if you don't mind, going to the press conference, all right? The first one from the press conference in September, where she emerges as it's the second clip in the series. It's Inside Edition, but it's the second clip, right? It's a press conference. You'll see. I think it's clip number 2 in that series. She's on Capitol Hill telling her tale of woe about Epstein. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Shantae Davies, and I'm here before you today as a survivor of decades of pain, trauma, and betrayal at the hands of Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein, and the people who enabled them, and a government that for far too long refused to help.
All right. That sounds pretty grim. Keep going.
At first, I was an excited young woman on top of the world. Epstein flew me to his private island. He listened to my dreams, promised to help, but his promises came with a catch. The abuse began. He told me to keep it secret. He manipulated me with quid pro quo I did not consent to, but I felt I had no one to turn to. He was too powerful.
He was just too powerful. He was too powerful. Who is he? What? How? Walk away. I don't believe it. And she was 22 when this stuff went down, allegedly. Now, there's a reason why, all right? I mean, if you think I'm being harsh, hold on. Stay with me on this. Keep going.
What I endured will haunt me forever. I live every day with PTSD. I live as a mother trying to raise my child while distrusting a world that has betrayed me. This kind of trauma never leaves you. It breaks families apart. It shapes the way we see everyone around us. But one thing is certain. Unless we learn from this history, monsters like Epstein will rise again.
Wow. All right. So we got to believe women, right? I'm sorry, but after Christine Blasey Ford came out there and tried to destroy Kavanaugh, I don't believe women. I believe evidence. And what we just saw was a performance. This, I believe, you're about to hear is evidence. Here's Shantae Davis in 2015 telling Inside Edition her experience with Jeffrey Epstein and all of those powerful people. Are you ready for that one? Go ahead.
In this Inside Edition exclusive, Shantae Davies takes us inside the secret world of the Lolita Express, named for the controversial book and movie about a professor's infatuation with an underage girl. Shantae made several trips on Jeffrey Epstein's infamous Lolita Express. She says she was one of several young, attractive women hired to travel around the world, giving massages or yoga instruction to Epstein and his rich and powerful friends.
Oh, my God. Tell me more. What else?
When Shantae was hired, she was a struggling 22-year-old actress. She once played a lingerie model in a movie called Exposed.
His designs are really great.
Shantae worked as a masseuse, but says she never had sex with Epstein.
Did you ever think that maybe more was going on than simple massages?
Looking back, of course.
Was there a bed on the airplane?
Actually, yes, there was, yeah.
On one memorable flight on board a plane like this provided by Air Hollywood, she says she made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for passengers, including Oscar winner Kevin Spacey, actor Chris Tucker, and even Bill Clinton. They were all flying to Africa on a humanitarian mission, and Jeffrey Epstein had given them the use of his jet.
So you never gave President Clinton a massage?
No, I didn't.
Shantae says when the plane landed in Africa, Clinton took her shopping, but she says nothing improper occurred.
But did you hear about the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? I'm sick and tired of everybody being jerked around on this thing. And quite frankly, I can take the incoming. I really can. I did it over January 6th. I did it over 2020. Done it a million times. I'm comfortable here. It doesn't bother me because I love the truth. I love it so much. Be right back.
Greg Kelly
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Yes, we are back, and I am getting along with my wife. But I got to tell you, marriage is harder than I thought it would be. Actually, it's better, but it does have its moments, right? Are you married, Carlos? No, but you come from a married family. Your parents were married, of course, and yeah, it's a little bit interesting, you know, and it's just I don't know. I don't think we fight more than the average couple, but we do go at it. I think my biggest frustration is two things. I don't have my own office in the house. right? I need my own space. And I don't have that. I mean, it's not that we have, it's not small. It's, nice. It's good. It's wonderful. But I don't have a den. And I desperately need one. To the point that I've talked about, maybe we could make a closet that way. You know what I mean? Convert a closet. She says, no, we have too much stuff for the closets. So I kind of I don't know. And then when it comes to doing anything in the house, right, in terms of this, that, or the other thing, she just does it. She just, for instance, there's a big mural in the living room, right, that she just went out and bought and installed. And I'm like, what is this thing? She goes, oh, yeah, it's the new mural for the house. It looks a little dreary. It's like a forest in black and white. It's tasteful, but is it my taste? I need to be heard in this situation. Now, don't get me wrong. I am the king of the castle. All right. What I say goes, but I do delegate an awful lot, maybe too much. And maybe she's gotten a little bit carried away. Right. Maybe I've given her a little bit too much authority, and maybe just to remind people I'm the boss, I have to, decree something. Tonight, I'm going to say we're converting the bedroom closet into, no, we can't do that. We're converting the second bedroom closet into what the hell am I even doing in the closet? How about we have a guest room, quite frankly. We have 3 bedrooms, one for us, one for the kids, and one for, whoever comes over, the in-laws, that kind of thing. And we also assume that at some point the kids will need their own bedrooms, right? Why don't I make that my office? What'd you say about what?
I mean, you have a solid 5 years until the kids want, their own.
Right. And you know what we could do? We could make it a couch. So when we put a couch in there, that folds out. So when friends or people come over, relatives, whatnot, we can have that situation. I am going to come home with an announcement, not a request. Not a let me run this by you. I'm saying we're making the bedroom into an office for me. 1, I do. 2, I'm the boss. Now, don't tell my wife that because she'll kill me. I gotta have something for me. What happened was I went over to another guy's house. We went over as a couple, as a family, actually, and we went over to the nice people. It was a play date for the kids. We wound up having pizza on Sunday night. It's very beautiful. And I noticed this guy had his own office. And not only that, he had what I have, but it's in storage. He has a projector in the living room. Now, I don't know if you've ever used a projector. Somebody told me about this 15 years ago, and I fell in love with projectors. I don't want a flat screen TV. I don't care how big it is. I like projectors. You project the image onto the wall. It's like 30 feet. It's in high definition. It's the only way to watch content, in my opinion. And the wife has a problem with that. Yeah, I think that's coming out of storage. I think there are going to be a couple of changes in the Kelly household. Now, granted, she has a lot of work. She does 95, 96, 98% of the childcare. I mean, I'm there a lot, but, I'd never changed a diaper. There are certain things I won't do, but I think this is a me moment.
Greg Kelly, entertaining and informative
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Hey, didn't we have a great conversation with Jamie Michelle, the founder of Gays Against Groomers? And you never know where your allies are going to come from, But an amazing woman, happens to be a lesbian, doesn't quite frankly make a big deal out of it. I guess you could say the organization, but kind of wants to make just because you're gay doesn't mean you're liberal. Just because you're gay doesn't mean you support this transgender idiocy with children and the rest of it. And they have done such amazing work in public awareness campaigns. There are heroes among us, total heroes, like Janet Elaine Parks. Somewhere along the way, asking questions stopped being seen as curiosity and started being treated like a moral failure, judgment, and equated to unintelligence. For example, if you question a narrative, even one backed by decades of established science, you're labeled political, anti-science, immoral, uneducated. Not because you rejected evidence, but because you dared to examine it. If you vote based on policy instead of personality, you're judged. If you listen to experts on more than one side, you're told only one side is allowed to be right, even if both sides have a hypothesis or evidence. If you find value in an argument that isn't socially approved, suddenly you are the problem. And that should concern everyone. Science is not supposed to suppress people who ask questions. Democracy is not supposed to punish dissent. And truth has never required unanimous approval. There are experts on both sides of many issues. Some of you may be surprised to learn that this individual follows people on both sides of the aisle because they like to see how people think and how they come to think the way they do. And that's not a flaw. That's how progress has always worked. Yet today we're told curiosity equals danger and compliance equals virtue. And this individual speaks up because they always have in their family. They have always been the blunt one. Having a voice is not something they're willing to surrender for comfort or approval, especially when many people have similar questions and belief. And there are so many people who feel judged, dismissed, or talked down to simply for thinking critically. Wow. I love it. I love it. And there's something even, I think, more germane for this particular moment. Very, very intriguing individual, this Janet Elaine Parks. And this speaks to the stuff that I was doing last night. The Trump is in the Epstein files, so he's guilty narrative is lazy and dangerous. Let's be very clear about what's happening online right now. The narrative being pushed is this: if Trump's name appears in the Epstein files, he must be guilty. And if you're a Trump supporter who says, show me the evidence, you're suddenly accused of protecting a pedophile. That is reckless, that is dishonest, and it is completely detached from how our legal system is supposed to work. And some people have to need this loud and clear. Allegations are not convictions. Tips are not evidence. Names and documents are not proof of crimes. We live in a country that is supposed to operate on due process, not mob verdicts. And here's the part no one wants to admit. Trump has been investigated more than any modern political figure in American history. Impeachments, special counsels, grand juries, civil trials, federal investigations, state investigations. If there were verifiable, prosecutable evidence tying Trump to criminal activity in the Epstein case, does anyone seriously believe it would have been hidden for a decade? Let's be serious and let's stop pretending the establishment protects him. Hollywood hates him. Mainstream media outlets openly oppose him. The political class has tried to bury him repeatedly. The man has been a target for assassination. Nobody is quietly shielding Trump. Nobody. The idea that there is some secret pro-Trump elite protection squad is fantasy. Now, are elites capable of protecting elites? Yes. No one is naive about power, protecting power, but Trump has not been treated like a protected insider. He has been treated like a political enemy since 2015. So when Trump supporters say we want to see real documents, we want witnesses, we want verified concrete evidence, we want the courts to do their job, that is not protecting a pedo. That is insisting on evidence before destroying someone's life and reputation. And if you can't be reasonable enough to understand that point of view, your reasoning and critical thinking skills are compromised by hate. And yes, we are fully aware that people hate him. Some people want him guilty so badly that they will accept any headline, any allegation, any unverified document if it confirms their bias. Notice something else. There are many powerful names in the Epstein-related materials, but the online rage machine laser focuses on one. And why is that? Because destroying Trump is the objective, not justice. If credible, factual, verifiable evidence ever proves criminal wrongdoing, then charge him, prosecute him, convict him in a court of law, throw him in jail for life. That's how this country is supposed to work. But smearing millions of voters as pedo protectors because they refuse to convict someone based on internet hysteria and pure hatred, that's not justice. That is political warfare, and Americans are getting tired of it. Very much so. Faith, family, and freedom. Janet Elaine Parks, one of the unsung heroes that I'm becoming acquainted with, and actually They're actually being sung, and that's great. Robert in North Carolina, hello.
Hi, Greg.
Hi there.
I had an accident 2 weeks ago with a tractor trailer.
Oh.
Yeah, I got blown or pushed by the draft of another truck into the drive underguard at the rear of a tractor trailer next to me.
Yikes.
Over half of these tractor trailers, the drive underguards, it's an open bar configuration. My bumper got impaled on the end of the bar.
What is an underguard? I'm trying to visualize this. I'm having a trouble visualizing it. So where did you hit the tractor trailer? Where did it hit you? What's the underguard?
The underguard is what prevents people from driving under the tractor trailer so that, you won't get your head chopped off.
You mean in the back?
Yeah, it stops you from driving underneath it.
Okay, yeah. All right, because they don't have one of those on the sides. You can still get your head chopped off if you go on under the side, right?
Yes, that is possible.
Oh, my God. Hey, do me a favor. Hold on a second. I'm looking. There is a picture of Prince Andrew, in the back of a cop car. And, oh, boy, he does not look good. He does not look good. He's all freaked out, and he's trying to, cover himself from the photo. He's, trying to lay down in the back seat, and he looks petrified. This is Prince Andrew when he leaves the UK police station. They're very weird over there. They don't necessarily release the names of people they arrest. In a way that's good, in a way that's bad. All right, so you didn't go under the tractor trailer. You hit the underguard. Is that it?
Yes, from the side.
Yikes.
And got impaled on it.
Oh boy!
Now the newer drive underguards, they have bars which come and meet the ends, so you would be deflected off of it instead of getting impaled on it.
I don't know anything about the old underguard. Hey, but look, number one, are you okay? And what happened to your car?
Yeah, I'm okay. My car is out of commission for the moment. It is fixable, though.
All right.
And,
are you going to sue?
I'm looking. No, I can't. It wasn't the driver's fault.
Whose fault was it? We got to pin this on somebody.
It happened. I mean, I don't know if it was a gust of wind or the draft from another tractor trailer.
Robert, were you texting and driving? Be honest.
No,
I know. Well, listen, I'm sorry you went through this. I did not know about the underguards. So the underguards are not as good as they used to be. Is that it?
Right.
Okay.
The older ones, they have this open bar configuration.
I'm going to do some research because I'm doing this California driver license thing in a video I'm doing later. I'm glad you made it out okay. Where in North Carolina are you?
Oh, Morganton.
Where's that?
That's in western North Carolina.
All right. I love North Carolina. Yeah. I was near the ocean, Havelock and New Bern, and great people there. Loved my time in North Carolina. Thank you very much, Robert. Anthony is standing by. How are you?
Yeah, you got to stop saying things about the woman, and you got to stop saying yes to your wife, and you're probably not going to get your cubby hole or whatever.
Hey. Don't be telling me what to do. I got a note here that you want to say something about a TV show called Gunsmoke, which I've never seen. What about it?
It brings good American values.
Are there Indians in it?
Yes, American Indians. Look for it on YouTube.
Is it funny?
And it's also very, very learnable about American values. It's really not that funny.
You mean educational? It's educational. Is that it?
Educational. Greg, you got to watch Gunsmoke Radio Show.
I mean, isn't it 70 years old now?
Oh, it's probably from the 19th. I play it on my YouTube channel.
Oh, you mean it's a radio show?
All right.
I'll check it out. Thank you. Last one. Andrew, what's up?
Hey, Greg. Chris Christie, he resembles Jackie Gleason, but he's not funny and lovable like Jackie Gleason. Watching your show last night, you just really dismantled him so quickly. When Christie said Trump doesn't have character, you cut to the the shot of Trump getting shot in the ear and getting up and saying fight, 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 and not laying down with the Secret Service over him. And you showed Christie on the beach when he wouldn't allow anyone else on the beach, and also him nasty ripping into people at Q&A, where Trump was civil. And even if he says something like, oh, you're a nasty woman, like then he leaves it at that. He doesn't bully like he's ready to get in a fist fight. And that shows weakness, too, if you're a bully. So you really dismantled it, and I love that show. I love both shows.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Yeah, see you later. Thank you. It's true. I studied President Trump and compared him to Christie. Christie is always like losing his top and overreacting to people. And Trump never does that. Trump doesn't do that. Well, maybe he did a couple of times in the first term with Abby Phillip. But basically, like, when he called Caitlyn, you are a nasty person. She was being nasty, and we all saw her just be nasty. And he said, man, you're a nasty person. And that's why it works. That whole saying what we all feel thing. That's a superpower, and we'll be right back.
Greg Kelly, entertaining and informative
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The whole thing is a hoax. It's put out by the Democrats.
These files were made up. It's all the same scam. They could look at this Jeffrey Epstein hoax also, because that's the same stuff. That's all put out by Democrats.
It was a hoax. It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats.
Hello? Are we on the radio? We have major technical issues. Well, something's going on. Okay, not technical issues. The engineering is sound. We have management issues. Kevin Drosch has decided to fix everything in the middle of programming. Thank you. Goodbye now. Phew. All right, I'm going to go over here. Testing. 1, 2, 3. All right. You want to know why Prince Andrew was arrested? It wasn't because of these documents. It wasn't because he had sex with underage girls. It's because he totally screwed up an interview he did on British television. So this is the interview. It was in 2019. I remember it well. And this is considered one of the worst television interviews in the history of television interviews. This was like some sort of damage control effort, and he indicted himself. Now, he was just awkward as hell. He didn't admit to crimes, but he did come off a little bit out of touch, as a royal would be. You think a royal is a street smart character? When do they learn, how to be savvy? That's the thing about these guys. That's why you don't want to be like these guys. You don't want to be a prince, and you don't want to be Tom Brady. Every room Tom Brady has walked in since the age of 19, he's been the coolest guy there. And everybody, hi, Tom. Right? The rest of us, we have to go to battle. I walk into a room, 2 guys are doing their thing, not even acknowledging me, whatever, right? I just saw it 2 seconds ago. Just kidding. All right, here's the crazy interview that blew up his life. You ready? Hit it.
She was very specific about that night. She described dancing with you and you profusely sweating, and that she went on to have bath, possibly.
There's a slight problem with the sweating because I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat.
That's bollocks. No, go on.
Or I didn't sweat at the time, and that was actually yes, I didn't sweat at the time because I had suffered what I would describe as an overdose of adrenaline in the Falklands War when I was shot at, and I simply it was almost impossible for me to.
The editor had a little bit of fun, but hold on a second. You get that, right? I mean, it's a disastrous interview. What, you don't know how to sweat anymore? Your body doesn't sweat? Now, that didn't add up. And so he's not a street smart guy. He doesn't know how to get. But, all right, keep going. Special effects and all.
Of the two of you together.
Yes.
Your arm was around her waist.
Yes.
You've seen the photo.
I've seen the photograph.
How do you explain that?
I can't.
You think it is you next to her in the photo?
Oh, it's definitely me. I mean, that's a picture of me. It's not a picture of. I don't believe it's a picture of me in London, because when I go out in London, I wear a suit and a tie. That's what I would describe as those are my travelling clothes if I'm going overseas. So I've got plenty of photographs of me dressed in those sorts of sort of kit, but not there.
There was a witness there, Johanna Stolberg, who says that you did visit the house in that month.
I probably did. I don't think on one of the weird things. I was staying with the because of the
Hold on a second. Let me just describe this picture. He's completely clothed. He's smiling. He's not hiding from the camera. He's looking right at the camera with a smile on his face. And Virginia Giuffre, if that's her name, is next to him. His arm is around the waist of the girl, as people often do in photographs. You're making a wince. I have to tell you, you're wrong about this one, Carlos. Now, this is not a good example, but it's the first one that comes to mind. President Clinton and Monica Lewinsky in the Oval Office. Look at his hand. Actually, look at the hand of President Clinton in almost any picture with a girl. And it's always tightly around the waist. Now, is that a cheap thrill? I guess it could be, but it also could be innocent. I mean, she's treating this like it's smoking gun evidence. It's a 20-year-old picture of him not having sex with a woman who's at the age of consent. I don't get it. Keep going.
Consul General, which is further down the street on 5th. So I wasn't staying there. I may have visited, but no. Definitely no activity.
Well, after that interview, his life really came apart. He shortly thereafter announced that he is withdrawing from public activities, right? He would still be a royal, but he wouldn't do anything. He wouldn't cut any ribbons. He wouldn't share any commissions. He'd basically go into hiding. And he did. And since then, literally no evidence has come out that he had sex with children. None. And this arrest has nothing to do with sex with kids. It has to do with documents he may have shared with Jeffrey Epstein regarding trade. Although we're not going to know that much about the allegations. Why? Because the UK have a system. I don't think his name is even going to be officially released. They don't. This is both good and bad. I kind of like it, but I kind of don't. If you're suspected of a crime and you are arrested, your name is officially not released because, well, guess what? You're innocent. Why should your name be released? I think it's better for your name to be released, because you can't have the government have that much power. You can't have the government be able to do something so dramatic and people not know about it, because then they'll possibly get carried away. If they can do things like arrest people without the public knowing, there's a lot of danger there. And this is coming very close to home for me, because I know some people who have been arrested, and I think you know who I'm talking about. And there's a very interesting thing going on, and I'm going to have more to say about this probably by Monday. And I don't know what's happening, but it's not good. It's not good. And it shouldn't be happening in America. And I'm going to do all I can to help, which, quite frankly, I don't know. I don't know if that's a lot or a little. But whatever I can do, I will do. I promise. And thank you very much.
Thanks for listening to The Greg Kelly Show. You can hear The Greg Kelly Show weekdays at 12:15 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially healthcare. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.